Greetings to everyone. My name is David Triana and welcome to Making Connections. We are very excited today because it is our first time back in the studios of Emerald Coast Television since the coronavirus pandemic started. We hope that all of you are staying safe, you're staying healthy, and we want to make sure that, or we want to ask everyone, encourage you to make sure that you continue taking care of yourselves, okay? Take care of yourselves. Be very careful about what's going on out there. With me, as always, the wonderful Paola Connor. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, muy contenta de estar de regreso acá
Sí.
y añadir a más gente a nuestro grupo.
Excelente, sí, tenemos dos excelentes damas que nos van a acompañar aquí en el programa hoy. Cuéntame un poquito, ¿cómo te ha ido? ¿Qué has hecho durante este pandemic coronavirus?
Pues yo creo que esto ha sido como una perspectiva nueva para todos, en todo tipo de industria, incluyendo la industria de bienes raíces, porque pues estamos utilizando la tecnología para conectarnos.
Sí.
Y pues especialmente si estamos atendiendo a clientes que están de afuera viniendo para aquí, para esta zona, pues esta tecnología realmente nos está ayudando.
Exactamente, y sabemos, and we know that you are one of the top realtors in Florida. Eres una de las realtors de bienes raíces más exitosas en la Florida. You're also very successful in Mississippi. Tienes mucho éxito en Mississippi, ¿verdad? So, two states, Mississippi y Florida. What about the middle? Alabama.
Well, that's what they have been saying to me for years. So I really pay attention and I took action on it. So I studied for my Alabama license and I passed it about maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'll be licensed in Alabama very shortly.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations on that. I know you're going to be successful in Alabama also, I'm pretty sure.
Gracias.
Because you have a lot of contacts there. We hope to help you out with that also. We have a great show. As we mentioned, we will be right back.
María, tiene usted prediabetes.
¿Prediabetes? No, mire, doctor, yo no tengo tiempo ni de comer bien ni de hacer ejercicio. Yo soy una mamá muy ocupada.
Ay, pero ¿por qué no me lo dijo usted antes?
¿Cómo?
Claro, porque las mamás muy ocupadas como usted no pueden tener prediabetes. Permítame enseñarle. Aquí están las personas en riesgo de tener prediabetes y aquí, al final, mire, las mamás ocupadas como usted.
¿En serio?
No.
Welcome back. This is David Triana. I'm Making Connections. And as you all know, we are deep into the election season. This past June 16th, Conexión Media Group hosted a business networking, a virtual one through Zoom. And we also had a Meet the Candidates event. It was very successful. We had 6 different candidates come over and talk to us and talk to the audience. And we wanted to definitely thank them for doing that. But we have a very special guest today. Today we have with us Mr. Wayne Harris. He is a candidate for the Okaloosa County Commission District 1. Welcome, Mr. Harris. Thanks for being with us.
Both very much
Happy
for
to have you.
inviting me today. I appreciate it very much.
We are very glad to have you. You are the first candidate that comes to our show, and so you're going to get a prize for that one.
Prize already, other than you, David, of course. But thank you.
But we definitely want to talk to you about this race that you have entered. You are a very experienced person. You served in the military 27 years.
Correct.
You have owned several different businesses, and you also have been in the county commission for several years. So you have a vast amount of experience. And we want to know why you decided to run again and during this particular cycle.
Good questions, both of them are. And you mentioned some of the things I've done, businesses. I'm also Chamber of Commerce Director in Crestview for 15 years. And I've got a number of businesses. In fact, I own 2 right now, a consulting company as well as with my son, a publishing company. It's called Harris Chamber Team. And we consult with chambers of commerce throughout the United States. We do publications, membership directories, we do maps, we do websites, we do some geofencing and things like that. But David, I'm sure you can relate to this. There's nothing more profound to me than when I get out of bed in the morning and have a purpose. My Air Force career, like yours, there was a purpose. You know that when you put your uniform on, you had a purpose. And making money, you know, it's a means to an end, and I get that. You have to have those things, but making money in and of itself is not the biggest motivator. To me, getting out of bed and doing something that has an impact, or and as I told my kids, leaving a legacy. Things that I've done when I was on the chamber things that I've done as I was on the commission and things I've done in the Air Force. I left a legacy for others to follow. And I've always believed, and one of my first commanders said, always leave an organization better than you found it,
Yes.
and hope the next person does the same thing. So for me, it's about purpose, and I will continue to be that until the day I die. I believe I have a heart of a public service.
That's very important. That's very important. Obviously, with all that experience, if you, and yes, you are talking obviously to the audience of potential voters, what is the one thing or things that differentiate you with your opponents?
Well,
people that are
you
running
mentioned
against?
some of them, but I've got a vast business experience. And, COVID has put us in perilous times, not only in this country, but in this county as well. We've got a lot of people that are unemployed right now. We've got a lot of
Yes.
people
Absolutely.
that don't have jobs to go back to. And my biggest concern is we have a lot of mom and pop businesses that aren't going to come back. And I believe now, county government doesn't, any government doesn't create jobs for the people, but we can make it easier for the people, the job creators, to make it easier for them to actually create their jobs. The biggest taxpayers in the United States are small businesses. And we as a government in the county or in the state or in the city have an obligation to make sure that those people, those businesses are not burdened by undue regulations or ordinances or just permitting and all that process that goes through that. You've got to be willing to understand that you might be able to get money up front from impact fees and things like this, or if you're really a bit realistic about it, you can get money longer and more in a longer period of time on the other end of that, and that's through property taxes and things of that nature.
Exactly, and obviously this pandemic, has caused a crisis of tremendous effects all over the county and the state and the nation. During your past time with the commission, I believe you were also involved in one of the biggest tragedies that occurred in this area, where you were a part of the commission during the BP oil spill.
Correct. Yes, there was. I was the chairman of the board at that particular time, had four great commissioners on tap at that time. And if you recall, and I don't know, Tom McLaughlin from the Daily News.
Yes.
But I claim to him, or I give to him the claim that I got my 15 minutes of fame, because he wrote an article about me, because the commander or captain, which a Navy captain, Coast Guard captain, threatened me and me specifically with jail at the time.
Really?
Because it was our role to protect our coastlines. And while they wanted to do some things that we thought were not appropriate for ours, it was our community, it was our responsibility. It wasn't the Coast Guard coming in here and telling us, it wasn't Big Brother coming, this is what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. It was us. It was the business people, the government and other communities around the coastline that had a responsibility. We thought we knew better, because nobody knows. It's like your home. Nobody knows your home or your kids or your family better than you.
You bet.
You can have outsiders do all kinds of things, but it's them inside that little confines of Okaloosa County
You bet.
that knew more about our county and what was responsible. We had some great ideas that would have mitigated. Fortunately, though, we didn't get the hit that we thought we were going to get. Now, that's not to say that from an economic development perspective, we got hit badly. 20 or 30% of our tourism economy got beat up because of the press, mainly, because they were advertising, oh, you can't go to the Gulf Coast, you can't go to this coast, you can't go to, because it looked as though all coastlines, all the way down to Miami, were just inundated with oil globulates and globs and stuff.
Right.
I
All
can
over.
tell you that the whole time that I went through that process of where it actually started waning, no pun intended, started waning, we got probably, in the whole coast of Okaloosa, probably less than a half a barrel.
Oh, wow.
And that was just little balls here. But the calls we got were unbelievable. Anytime anything came up on shore,
Sure.
we got called. So we had, and I responded, we had to respond. The commission at that time took the threat serious, but also took it that if that's what it's going to take to protect our businesses, our property, and our county, then we'll take the jail sentence, whatever. They didn't follow through, and I had a feeling that they wouldn't. But I was willing to do that. We did that when we were in uniform, David.
That's right.
That's what it takes to make happen, and that's what it
right.
takes.
That's right.
Well, going to the oil spill many years ago to now this COVID-19 that is actually affecting the entire world. Now, considering that, because that has definitely put a whole different perspective on different issues. Now, talking about the most, let's say, top or three pressing issues that the county commission is dealing with, which one do you think is the top two?
For the commission,
Right.
for the commission, I can't speak for the commission currently, and I can tell you that I know the COVID-19 issue, disaster, or whatever you want to, pandemic, is significantly hurt the tax revenues, if you will, from the state. Gas taxes, all the different taxes that come about when things happen, you know, bed taxes, resale taxes, or sales taxes, all those different taxes that come. I think we're somewhere, if I talked to John Hofstad recently, we're about $6 to $8 million behind in revenues. And that's just a guess on what the county's perspective is. It's not necessarily the reality. It may be greater than that.
Okay.
Now, that's a priority. However, I think that issue will be resolved once we get back in the swing of things, and here's why. Property values are up, as you well know, if you know anything about real estate. Property values are up significantly. For last test, somewhere around 13%. I think that will make up that. I don't see any plans or any reason to raise taxes or create any issues that would do something like that.
Right. Now, do you think on this issue that we're dealing with, which one, on your perspective, how do you think you should solve that? How are you going to help solving that issue?
Yeah, I have three perspectives on that, and they all just happen to have the same names: jobs, jobs, and jobs. Okay.
There you go.
As I said to you earlier, small businesses are going to be hurting. They create most of the jobs in any community, in any place in the United States. They create more employees, more tax revenues, if you will, than any other. Even some of the bigger companies for sure, because there's more of them. And you got one big company, you got Walmart that does a lot, but you've got a lot more small businesses. So when I say jobs, I can't create jobs for businesses, they have to create them. But we, as I said earlier also, we have to allow businesses to have the ability to create those jobs. We have to not stand in their way by over permitting or over analyzing or over taxing or over regulating. We have to allow the businesses to make, especially now more than ever. Some of the things that we did in the past, maybe it was all right and you could get by with, but now coming back, we've got to create pathways for them to come back. Which I created, by the way, when I was on the commission before. When I first took over, I found construction and development almost a headache for a lot of developers and builders because I couldn't get through the bureaucracy.
The bureaucracy.
What we created, and I hope they still have it. I haven't followed or paid attention to it. But we started what I called a familiar term, hot turn. It was an Air Force term, which means turn that plane around quick. Well, what we did was we put everything together with the help of the BIA, the Building Industry Association, as well as the county growth management. And you could, if you had everything together, we'd have a meeting with all the developers or the developer and all the department heads, and then everything would be planned out. You could start turning dirt on a big construction site in 45 days. Unheard of in the past. It was 2 years.
Exactly,
That's good.
which is great. It's a great improvement. As you know, when the biggest employers here in this area are the military, defense contractors, the hospitality industry. What other type of industries do you think we should be striving to attract to this county area?
I am so glad you asked that because that has all my time on the as chairman or as executive director for the Crestview Chamber of Commerce, as well as on the commission. We have a two-legged stool. Well, you know how two-legged stools go. Okay, they don't go well. This is a four-legged stool. Okay, you have to have more than just tourism, which is about 20% of our economy, and probably 65% of our economy is Eglin Air Force Base. Now, I don't want to do anything ever to stop that.
That's right.
But we have to do other things. And one of the things I did while I was on the board, as well as in the executive director position at the chamber, was try to recruit other kind of businesses, manufacturing, digital businesses. We try to recruit a company, a big company, a silicone type company, if you will, for making flash drives and all the different silicon. I'm not a digital expert on all those things, but what we tried to do is recruit a whole lot of different things. Now I have to tell you, Nathan Sparks from the Economic Development Council has done a phenomenal job, but we're limited. We have land, especially in the North County where I live, but we don't have a lot of infrastructure for those. I think the county's working towards that, but we've got to do better. I'm very proud of the fact that something that I started is coming to fruition. One of the things that we had going to Bob Sykes Airport, which is a phenomenal development site. It's zoned and everything. Tracy Stage from the airport has done everything to go in there. It's permitted. It's everything you can think of to get in there. They're finally building a road off Highway 90 into the airport, something I advocated for, the Foy Shaw Industrial Parkway. unbelievable. That's been a long time coming for me, and I can't wait for that to happen. Whether I get elected or whether I don't, I'm going to be there at that particular thing, because that's been a blessing for me to start. And
So diversity is always good.
diversity is absolutely important in anything we do, and anything we try to do. Is diversity has to
Absolutely.
take part in it.
Before we close it out, we were talking earlier about the election and open election versus not open election. Can you explain to the people that may not know what that means?
Sure. First of all, understand that everybody votes for all districts. If you live in District 3 or District 5, Destin, first of all, you have to vote, or you can vote for whoever's running in all the other districts. That's the first thing. That is open to everyone. Everybody votes for the commissioners. And there's a reason for that, a real quick reason, and that is because when you're on a commission, you make decisions for all 5 districts. So you have to get elected from those people that are in those districts, so they know what you represent them as well. So they're your constituents. Secondly, this is the first time that I recall, since I've been here and since I've been in politics, that it's an open election. It's not a closed election, which means everybody, Republicans, Democrats, non-party affiliates, and other, all vote in this upcoming for District 1 and District 3. Those 2 districts are open elections. The other ones are closed because they either got a non-party or they got a write-in or something. Those are closed. But 2 of them, District 1 and District 3, which, by the way, are the biggest districts landmass-wise and now pretty much numbers. It's imperative. It's imperative, and I ask you directly, please, whether you vote for me or whether you vote for somebody else, just go vote. David and I have spent 27 years of our life understanding that we have challenged people to go vote. Please vote. That's all I ask. That people have died for that right.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful message. I was going to give you a couple more minutes if you want to let them know why they should vote for Wayne Harris.
Thank you very much, David. And I think, to me, you mentioned it or you hit on it earlier, and that's about experience. We're in perilous times, and we talked about this the whole time here. This county is maybe a little bit better off than some of the other places around, but we're still in perilous times. And what you need is a leader, a person that's got experience, a person that's been there, person that knows how to reach out to the right organization, the right person, the right agency to get something done. You can't have somebody that's going through a learning curve.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I've been on that. It takes 2 years to 3 years to learn what it is you can do, that you were even a commissioner. Oh, I didn't know I could do that, or I should do that. What we don't need now during these perilous times is for people to have a learning curve, or OJT, term that you and I are familiar with. What we need somebody is to get in there and as soon as they get sworn in, jump into the mess and get it done. And I can do that because of my leadership. And again, that's my purpose, and that's what I want to do.
Thank you very much. Again, we want to thank you for being the first candidate to join us
Guinea
during this
pig.
election season here at Making Connections. We want to invite you and all the other candidates that are out there. Late in July, we will be doing another
Good.
social with the Meet the Candidates approach to it, and give them the opportunity to speak to the business community that we serve, and also to the Hispanic community, which is also a big listener and watcher of what we do. We want to wish you the best of luck in the race.
Thank you.
I think the experience that you bring, the acumen that you bring to any committee will be very beneficial, and
Thank you, David.
I wish you
Appreciate
success.
it. Thank you very
Most
much.
importantly, your passion.
Well, thank you very
You could
much.
tell right away.
I'm glad that because that's important to me. That's what's real important to me.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
both.
been a pleasure.
We'll be right back.
Anytime they're playing music downstairs, it's loud. I go downstairs, see what they're doing, see what music they're doing, see what they're dancing to. I go play piano downstairs, they come get involved. Leah has a drum set beside it, banging that. Any music, that's what they do.
Les tengo que anunciar algo muy, muy exciting, como se dice en inglés, exciting, muy importante para nuestros shows. Tenemos a 2 bellas mujeres que se han unido a nuestro show y parte de nuestro equipo de Making Connections. Una de ellas es Carolina Fierro, de Colombia. And from Brazil, tenemos a Fabia Mosi. So, women, beautiful women, I'm so glad to have you here on the show. Very proud to have you here. Carolina, danos un resumen de tu persona tan bella que eres tú.
Muchas gracias, Paola, por tu presentación. Es un gusto para mí hacer parte de la familia de Connection. Mi nombre es Carolina Fierro, soy colombiana, vivo en Cresview. Llegué aquí a los Estados Unidos hace 7 meses.
Wow, nuevecita.
Nueva.
Nueva.
Estoy muy reciente, soy comunicadora social, periodista de mi país, con muchas ganas de aportar cosas muy positivas al grupo. Y para mí es muy grato que hayan contado
Y
conmigo.
con la experiencia que tiene Carolina, más este TV show va a ser mucho más completo y diverso. Ahora con Brasil, con Fabia. Tell me about yourself. I'm so glad to have you here. And by the way, you have brought a great addition to the newspaper itself. We're expanding it to like 4 pages of Portuguese section.
I am so excited about that.
So Fabia, invite the community, especially the Brazilian community, now that we have a section here in the newspaper.
Boa tarde a todos vocês, meus amigos brasileiros. Meu nome é Flávia Mossi e eu sou nos Estados Unidos desde 8 anos de idade. Eu moro em Destin e eu sou na área de saúde mental. E eu faço pesquisa, escrevi livros também. Uma das coisas que eu adoro fazer é contribuir com informações para a revista chamada Connection. E eu estou aqui hoje no estúdio para convidar a todos vocês, meus amigos, para pegar uma cópia da revista Connection. E um lugar muito bom para pegar é na loja que chama La Tienda Mexicana. E ela está aqui em Destin. E essa revista é super legal. Ela é escrita em espanhol, em inglês, e agora também vamos escrever segmentos em português. Então vai ter muitas páginas com muita novidade para vocês seguirem. E estamos fazendo entrevista com membros da nossa comunidade. E também vai ser notícias de evento, notícias importantes do que está acontecendo na nossa comunidade. Enfim, é para a gente se unir, expandir, fazer bastante networking. E eu quero convidar todos vocês para pegarem uma cópia dessa revista. E nessa loja que eu falei também tem bastante produto brasileiro, vocês vão gostar se vocês não conhecem ainda. E façam parte do nosso grupo. E também vocês podem conectar pelo Facebook Group, chamado Conexão Brasileira. E eu agradeço a vocês e venham participar conosco. E desejo a todos vocês uma ótima semana.
Absolutely. So Peru, Colombia, Brazil, wow, we're having an international team now. So welcome to the team. I'm looking forward to more shows with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
Still talking to your friend?
It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji!
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
Welcome back. This is a wonderful show. We have another great guest. Her name is Dawn Siegel, and she is the executive director of the Saving Grace Women's Home. And we're going to talk about this wonderful project that's coming to the Emerald Coast. Welcome, Dawn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
We're really happy to have you.
Thank you for coming. And I think Paola has a few questions for you.
Of course. Well, actually, David gave me, something to read about you, which I love. I love reading about who we're going to interview. And reading your life story, to me, is just very inspirational. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, you as personal.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I consider my life as the God of second chances. Due to the fact that I am from Fort Walton since the age of 11. I did experience 30 years of addiction, drug addiction, with some abuse, incarceration. And then I did have the opportunity to go into a program very similar to the one I have been recently hired to run. So I'm very excited about the endeavor because it's so needed in this area.
Absolutely.
So
and
needed.
We're going to touch that in a little bit.
Okay.
And going back to your life story, 2014 seemed to be the year when things changed. Tell us about that year.
That did. April 11th of 2014 was when the Sheriff's Department, Okaloosa County, came in and raided my home and arrested me with the gentleman I was living with. We were placed in Okaloosa County Jail and charged with methamphetamine production. We were currently a drug dealing also. And the Lord placed me there for 5 months, and I was not able to bond out or get out. The plea deal that would be offered, I was being told with the drug charges that I have that there was a day-for-day mandatory drug sentencing that I would be processed into prison, and that's what I would be doing. However, when I called out to the Lord Jesus, He came to me in my jail cell and physically touched me, and I knew at that moment that not only was I forgiven, but that I was favored and that that was not going to be my life. And I told Him at that time that I would do whatever He asked me to do, no matter where He wanted me to go. So I was prepared to go to prison if that's what had happened. But the plea deal that ultimately came through for me was a first in Okaloosa County at that time for the type charges that I had. I did have a lot of probation, but the blessing that I had was not only the vessel of Okaloosa County Jail, but also of the program that I attended in Pensacola was a vessel that the Lord used to establish part of what He's asking me to do now.
So this is how everything started.
It is how everything starts. It was not the ending, the beginning.
Absolutely.
It was the beginning.
Yes.
So tell us how this beautiful project, because it's beautiful, is going to be life-changing for a whole lot of people out there and very needed in this area as well. Tell us about this project that you're working on.
Okay. We currently have a brother program that's been in Fort Walton Beach for 4 years, Project Hope Recovery Center, which is for men. But the need for the women is here. It has always been here. And I find it amazing and in awe of God the way He has brought me almost full circle. This is where I had my trouble, and this is where He's going to use me to help those that are in trouble. Foundation is being laid, you mentioned that earlier, for this, because what we truly want to do with this is be able to help anyone that has we are all of a sinful nature, but any type of addiction, homelessness, abuse, alcoholism, we can truly be addicted to anything.
Absolutely.
And it is a heart issue with a root problem. And we need to get to the root to find out how we can heal from that truly, and then we can move into the calling on our life.
And where did this project originated?
Originally from Houston, Texas. They have a men and a women's center currently in Houston that they've had for 7 years. The men's center for Fort Walton, 4 years, and they just recently opened up a men's center in Russellville, Arkansas. So they're trying to expand the programs that they have. So we're bringing a women's center here.
There you go.
Yes, we are.
Women power, huh?
Yes, girl power, yes.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Dawn, first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you because I've known you for several years.
Yes.
And I know that you are a very, well, first of all, a professional woman with what you do in the clinic. And then also a very caring person, because what I know you have done for the youth of our area through an organization that we are part of, United for a Good Cause. You're always supporting that. And then you're also a speaker. I've heard you speak, and your testimony is very powerful.
Thank you.
So I think this project is going to be very successful because you're running it, and then it has a history already. I know that you're going to serve women that have suffered from addiction, drug addiction, but that's not it. There's other addictions that you guys will be able to serve, correct?
There is. Other issues that people may have. There could be obsessive behavior conditions with gambling and sexual conditions there. Eating, overeating, undereating is an addiction. Anger is an addiction. Codependency, unhealthy relationships is an addiction. like I mentioned earlier, there can be an addiction to any unhealthy habit or behavior that we've developed in our life.
Got it. And you may have already mentioned a couple of those things, but as far as the services you're going to provide to these ladies, what are some specific things that you will be doing?
Well, I did mention that we are faith-based. It's a 12-month residential facility, so the women will live there. We do have staff and interns that actually live with them also. They will participate in a work-study type program. So not only are we teaching them biblically how to live as a godly woman in an ungodly world, we teach them that they are to be respected and valued and loved, no matter where they go. But on the work side of that, because we do not require someone to be able to afford to come into the program, that we offset costs with some fundraising and then some work study, which develops work ethic, because some don't understand how to go to work,
right,
how to work with others. So we work on the team building and the teamwork with that, the ability to submit to authority and those placed in above you. Laundry is a duty also. So we balance that with the classes, the teaching, the chapels, the church rotations, the missions team. It's a phenomenal program, and I speak from experience.
It sounds like it.
It sounds like it for sure. I know that you have some things going on already. You received a couple of donations, and you have I think a fundraising activity going on at this point. Can you briefly tell us, maybe acknowledge some of the donors that have supported you already?
Yes, we've been actively fundraising for about a month now, and that's including looking for a building or some place or a home that may be useful for when we start. Because what we're trying to do is get our first year of cost together, including salary, utilities, food, rent. We want to start on a plus if we can. We have had several raffles. We've had a van donated. Was one of our first donations.
Oh, wow.
And we had a $2,000 donation from another nonprofit just yesterday. We have several raffles going on online, which is fairly new to me. The raffling and making the Facebook announcements. But we do have a jewelry set right now, a James Avery cultured pearl, tricolor pearl that's on a raffle. Several Subway gift cards from a gentleman I know in Crestview, and some artwork that was donated. We will also have an annual fundraiser November 1st.
Okay.
And that is going to be probably our last big push, because we want to get this running before next year.
Right.
We have 6 months to do it. Well, about 5 now, but that's our goal.
We'd love to hear it when it's
Yes.
getting there,
Yes.
very close.
You'll be invited.
Paola, go ahead and you have a couple more questions for her.
Any final words you would like to add before we let go?
I think what I would like to say, besides that, of course, our God is of second chances, and sometimes third, sometimes fourth. But I know that when the Lord looks down and sees me, that He sees His daughter, Dawn. But I know that you can't argue with a changed life, but what He's done for me, He wants to do for others. So I know that someone's mother, someone's daughter, someone's friend, someone's employer, someone's employee can benefit from this program.
Absolutely.
And it's needed in my heart. I wanted it in Fort Walton, and it's going to be in Fort Walton.
Absolutely. I think with this COVID-19, there are so many women, unfortunately, that have been trapped at home with their quote-unquote significant others, where they have experienced, more violence, more, unfortunately, unpleasant experiences. So absolutely, your project will be amazing in this area.
Yes.
And like David says, thank you so much for it. It's truly needed here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. If you want to say some last words for people that want to help you, how do they reach you?
Absolutely, yes. Here I go. You can donate online, www.savinggracewh.com. You can make a one-time donation. You can make a monthly donation that will come out every month on the day that you submit that. write Florida in the menu, and in the memo line, we need the Florida, because there's another saving grace in Houston, and we specifically want that to be for us. We will do periodic updates, Facebook, so you will see where we are, what we're in need of. As of now, I'm taking any and all donation, finances, clothing, furniture. I'm not turning anything down.
All right.
So,
thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
good luck with your project. We'll be supporting you, and hopefully I will get to see you again and be more involved in it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Wayne Harris. We are facing some very troubling times in our nation, our state, and our county. Now more than ever, we need a person who has the experience and the knowledge to work with all aspects of the business community and all government agencies to get Okaloosa County back to work. My 27-year career in the Air Force, along with my experiences running a Chamber of Commerce for 15 years, coupled with 6 successful businesses, make me that person. I will hit the ground running. I will not need a learning period, and I certainly will not need any OJT. I am the most qualified candidate. I ask for your vote on or before August 18th, 2020.
Saludos a todos. Primeramente, espero todos estén muy bien y saludables y felices. Aquí vamos con algunos eventos que esperamos que todo el público apoye. La Semana Internacional de la Costa Esmeralda es un proyecto liderado por Connection Media Group y socios que incluyen Alicia Duques, DJ Soran, Nikki Smith y Patricia Rojas. Los eventos son variados, pero todos tendrán un sabor internacional. La semana oficialmente será entre el 12 de septiembre y el 19 de septiembre. Connection Media Group lidera el International Festival. El 13 de septiembre, este evento se realizará en el Parque London de Fort Walton, un evento donde más de 60 naciones participarán con música en vivo, DJs, grupos folclóricos, puestos de comida variada y puestos de venta e información. No te lo puedes perder. El viernes 18 de septiembre no te puedes perder la Super Pachanga Internacional de Música para Todos. Tendremos música desde europea, latina y hasta hip hop. Varios de los mejores DJs del área participarán. Habrá música en vivo, concursos de bikinis y comida internacional. Este evento será en Food Pokers de Destin, uno de los sitios sin duda más populares de la región. Además, el sábado 19 de septiembre habrán 3 eventos de la Semana Internacional que cerrarán con broche de oro. El Festival de Cine Movie Makers será en el Sounds and Cine del centro de Fort Walton. Directores y productores podrán participar por medio de películas de cortometraje. Solo tienen que llamar a Nick Smith para inscribirse. En Pensacola, prepárense todos a comer, se ha dicho, con la super fiesta de camiones amenizada por Patricia Rojas del Rincón Latino en la calle Tipping. Habrá música, DJs, puestos de comida e información y ventas. Y nuestro último evento es organizado solo para mujeres. Alicia Duques y sus Ladies of Houston de Northwest de la Florida invitan a su Women Business Expo. Mujeres emprendedoras y líderes tendrán la oportunidad de poner sus puestos en este evento, que también tendrán otras actividades, charlas y mucho entretenimiento. Vivimos en un área con personas de todo el mundo, por eso Connection Media Group y sus socios han creado este evento. Qué manera de empezar el otoño en la Costa Esmeralda, con eventos con sabor internacional, diversión, cultura, sabrosa comida y gran variedad de actividades. Para mayor información de otros eventos en nuestra comunidad, te invitamos a que visites nuestra página web. Nos busques en Facebook, Instagram, Twitter y YouTube. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Se despide tu amiga Carolina Fierro.
Do you want to advertise to thousands of Hispanics and non-Hispanics in Northwest Florida and Southern Alabama?
¿Quieres promover tu empresa y producto a miles de hispanos y no hispanos?
Connection is your most cost-efficient way to do so.
Conexión es tu solución.
We are the largest English and Spanish publication in our region. Our primary mission is to inform, guide, and educate our readers via interesting content.
Somos la publicación mensual en español y en inglés de la más grande distribución en toda la región. Además de las 5,000 copias en papel, tenemos activas las redes sociales, incluyendo Facebook, Twitter e Instagram, y también por Internet.
Conexión is your bridge to connect you to the growing Hispanic market in the region. Call us.
Llámanos.
We hope you enjoyed our show today. As they say, all good things must come to an end. Right? We want to thank Dawn Siegel and Wayne Harris for being with us today. It was an outstanding conversation with them. We wish the best to Dawn and her project, and also to Mr. Harris in the election. Paola, unas palabritas aquí antes de cerrar.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed this show. Great people coming to our team, and also great people that we interviewed today. So, nos vemos hasta pronto. Y una cosa más.
We want to make sure you take care of yourselves out there, all right? Wear your masks if you have a chance, or when you have a chance, make sure that you take care of yourself and take care of others. That's the bottom line. Stay safe.